is being recorded live in the Members Hub, and then it will be released after. Once you guys have a little bit of a juicy, look at the energy, I will be opening it late afternoon, which will be, if it's your evening in America, it'll be your next morning, technically. Okay, so that's roughly when it's going to happen. We're going to grab a rune for Divine Feminine. And yes, on this occasion, there will be, well, there's an extension always, but we're going to dig into where the energy's at and what's going on. Let's get a rune for Divine Feminine. I've pulled the cards. That'll be about right. Okay, Kundalini. Kundalini. Yep. That's right. There you go. So, what's the time here? Yeah, so we're matching now. Yay, finally. Australia and America are matching. So, we're live again tomorrow in the Twin Flame Hub. You get me live, right? Isn't it great? Finally. Let's find this rune. I have pulled the cards. For me, which I was telling Google this morning, a lot of these ascension symptoms, even though I'm in union, I'm experiencing them. So there has been, for Divine Feminine, potentially bounce of disillusionment, bounce of disillusionment, fatigue, depression, the good old yo-yo. No matter where we are in the path, we're going to feel the energy because it is Virgo. Hi, Angela. How you doing, beautiful? Have you got that bloody generator yet? I found two. I found an electric one and I found a gasoline one. I'm down for the electric one, okay? I am down for that. Okay, so I have the rune. Let's have a look. We'll have a chat to the members. This is going to be going live after. So for those of you that jump on this video, we do have a members hub and it is the Twin Flame Hub. And I do coaching. We have a live again tomorrow in the Twin Flame Members Hub, which is $11 a month. You get 3 sessions. So I will be there live to have a good old chat and we can do another update and see where it's at, and then live on Fridays. So yes, as I mentioned to Angela and as Giggle and I had spoken, and I'm sure all of you as Divine Feminines have felt the ups and downs. So you're guided to pause, and I think as we go through the transits, we're having this upgrade and we're having these emotions coming up, and so we don't really want to make, and I think psychologically some of you, you could be operating from, how could I put it, fight and flight. You could be operating from, do I do something? Can you're a bit like you're second guessing it. Some of us, it can merely be, we don't want to jump in the deep end in any situation right now without being 100% sure. So you're kind of up in your head. I saw a couple of comments that were placed during the month, and it was, am I the karmic? And I think we've gone through this 100 times. In your chakra system, in the twin flame connection, when we are having a dynamic play out in the connection, generally it can be to do with past life. It's also the history that happens within the connection. And so we have a belief system that we have to review, and it can feel very karmic-y in nature. Can we react karmic-y? Yes, we can, but usually you won't be questioning, hey, am I the karmic? So we're looking at life and not wanting to do something based on a fallacy. We're wanting to be totally sure of this situation. The funny thing is the sacral chakra through Mars already is being activated. We are going to be having a new moon in Aries. The funny thing is it's kind of going down. It's not up. So it's a little bit like Limp Bizkit. It's the sacral chakra, the joint energy. This relates to Mars. At the moment, yes, you still can feel a little bit tired. It's also Crow. Now, when we look at the attributes of Mars, we've moved away from the Virgo moon. Moving into the following month, we're going to be having a new moon in Aries. Yeah, I know, I thought you'd like that. Limp Bizkit, right? Even though I really love them. The colour is red. Anything Mars in nature can bring about inflammatory, all these words, especially with karmic read. I went back and listened to it, and I did really, after the fact, match divine masculines quite damn to the bloody T. Tuesday, Mars, constellation Libra, air. Funny that it is Libra and Aries, really in connotation with this rune. Okay, it's to keep the faith. Let's see what it relates to. Victory, honor, justice, law, balance, self-sacrifice, and righteousness. Esoteric, magical equilibrium, selflessness, and spiritual purity. Reverse, paralysis, lack of commitment, impotency. Okay, so why is this coming up? During the Virgo moon, initially when you go through the transits, yes, the moon continues to go through different cycles, but the common energy is usually at the new and the full moon. We then go through these spiritual energies as we're moving through. What Angela and I talked about, which Angela has Virgo in her chart, and we were talking about this for Libras, it's on your 12th house, but it's energy collectively. It's very Chiron. Some of you in the transit and how it's directly impacting you, you're going to be coming to it in two ways. A, with your situation with your twin flame and your general life, some of you are going to realize that there's just some things you're not going to do. Okay, it can be very practical. It can be, okay, what in my life am I believing at a psychological level I had to do, or this is what things were, or this was. It's almost like we're going to find an easier way to do something. We're going to realize certain ways we were operating and tackling certain situations or believing in certain situational shifts were actually keeping us back. B is because both the Virgo moon and the Aries moon is all linking to Chiron, which is to do with a great deal of healing that is happening for divine feminine and for divine masculine simultaneously. Within your own life, it's within your power. It's okay. What actions do I need to take? So some of the things you may find that you're not attracted to anymore, and I don't necessarily feel. You can be in the ups and downs relating to the twin flame path. You can be maybe deeply attracted with a lot of chemistry coming through, and then just super nonchalant. So it can be an imbalanced sacral chakra at the moment. I would suggest at the moment preparing for that new moon in Aries is to start balancing your sacral chakra. If you're doing any shadow work in it, you can really integrate and balance it inside you so you're prepared for that moon. And once that comes, you can actually get positive situations instead of negative, even though it is a new moon. Magician energy in reverse. Okay, yes, we're moving through our third eye. Mercury can be relating to third eye. The Virgo moon can be relating to third eye. We're looking at the connection and we're looking at the past and we're like, okay, have I been lying to myself? Am I the karmic? Is this even real? Where am I looking at things? What truths am I physically seeing right now that would be required to move in order for that to be physically successful within the connection? With the ruin. Okay. Victory in the sense of justice being done. It calls upon us to be honourable, courageous, and loyal to whatever cause we are involved in, even if it involves a degree of self-sacrifice. Such qualities are found by connecting with our inner moral core, developing the backbone necessary to commit ourselves completely. Reverse suggests impotence and paralysis, causing a lack of commitment. No matter how much enthusiasm you might have, in principle, a failure to take action will weaken you. So, can you be assessing your divine masculine? Yes. But again, when it comes to manifestation, this is kind of the problem. A, we're going through a psychological transformation and a purgatory effect, right? B is when you are thinking on things, we directly in the 3D are manifesting these situations. So accidentally, without us knowing, if that chakra is imbalanced, what's happening is our belief system linking to our twin flame path is based on fear-based frequency. And, lack of movement, therefore equals it's not real. So we're looking at this at the moment, and we're saying, hey, in the 3D world, this isn't what a relationship looks like. This isn't what you do. In my belief system, this isn't how it goes. You also can be feeling as though you don't want to keep watching your back. Have I actually lost something? Some of you in a decision-making sense, you're actually looking at, have I actually lost anything? Because you've got to have something to lose it. You have it inside, but you want it both on the 3D. I feel some of you can be feeling that this person is bloody stubborn. that this person is almost knocks their head against a wall, and these patterns are causing angst and unattractiveness relating to it. It's also going to help Divine Feminine not enable the situation, so this person can actually, and I did mention that last week, I was really feeling as though there was a circumstance occurring in Divine Masculine's life, and Divine Feminine was feeling it was in relation to them, and it's really not. There is a cycle that is being cycled out that is their social responsibility. And by us not kind of being in that circle of concern, and you, for some of us, whoever's in it, you know, if you're in the direct connection and you're watching the situation, allow them to deal with it, but try to disconnect from, hey, this is going to be forever, because you won't do it forever. You won't, right? Okay, your values and your benchmark have definitely raised. So, you know, when it does come to your wounds, you believing where you were, this is quite a high octane energy for Divine Feminine this year, being that the North Node's in Taurus. I feel your benchmark is, it's like what you give to me is so much less than what I feel now that I need to receive. I feel Divine Masculine actually knows this. Some of you feel that they're very focused maybe on, there's a differing in values. Some of you are feeling there's something relating to work. You know, again, I'm just feeling you're quite, some of you are shifting your career sector, and that's for Divine Feminine. Some of you are shifting your energy onto physical things that directly need addressing, so that doesn't define you, and it doesn't matter if they are or aren't there, you're going to be okay subconsciously. And I feel you really you're integrating that masculine into your life, which I feel for a lot of us, we had been operating in a lot of masculinity. So this Virgo moon was really helping us come into the energy, the feels, you know, the toots of it, so that we could balance both sides. Yeah. I feel what we're doing is, and what we're knowing from a heart-centered point of view, if there has to be give and take, and I feel ultimately wherever the cracks were in your physical foundation of your life, you're repairing them, but at the same time you feel that you're more open to love. Doesn't mean it's going to be with this person. Some of you could be looking at both sides of the fence here, but I do feel your value system's raced and you do want the give and take. Some of you are thinking that, I don't know why you're thinking that, that Divine Masculine's in some happy, loved up situation. Yeah. Some of you have made this kind of commitment to yourself that no matter what, you're not going to be alone. It's like, not going to be alone. There are wounds relating to love coming up. That does make sense moving into April. I think the toll, in a sense, at an emotional level this week, you're kind of looking at the shadow phase, and how do I put it? What I'm seeing psychically is wounds coming up relating to love, wounds coming up relating to the person's personal power. Do I feel you're still moving forward? Yes, I do. Are you doing this shadow work super quick? 100%. I feel it's becoming a point where it's not defining you, which is beautiful. It means you're reaching union with self. It doesn't in the 3D world, when we're looking at that, feel like that, but it ends up being that. It does end up being quite a positive thing, because it means you're coming into total acceptance. And once we reach that point, you generally do have movement, and it's not, you know, it's like, oh, okay, so I have to reach disillusionment and acceptance in order to have the connection. Yes and no. But this is where Divine Feminine is at the moment in the mix of it. It's like, okay, if you're with me, you're with me. If you're not, you're not. Because you got gathering your tribe. It's like, you know, sometimes some of you can be thinking that maybe you're not part of that group. Maybe you're not part of that system that Divine Masculine's in, and you've been through that cycle already. I do feel Divine Masculine is aware that there is something that needs to be healed here. But it is sort of like both parties have to want to work at that. How do I explain it? I feel it's something that in your heart, maybe a statement that they made had come through, but the healing as per se hasn't happened. Some of you who have reached reunion, you may feel your wishes have come true, only to be sitting in it and something isn't looking quite according to plan. It is because at a 3D level, both parties here are going through a healing. So it's almost like you can't gauge what this person's feeling. You can't. It's like poker face. That's about the best way I can describe it. The poker face energy in the 3D, your intuitive body is kind of giving you this anxiousness that something isn't right, that something's hidden from you, and that anxiousness. You don't want it to define you, but you're aware of the physical environment. So whatever that physical environment is, you know that there's a blockage there and it's causing anxiousness. Whoa. Yeah, you want to know why. You're like, okay, well, what's the deal? What, you know, you're going back over your memory system. You're going back over the history that you've had with this person. You're trying to understand the energy, 5D and 4D. For some of you who are in communication, it's the demeanor. You're seeing the person's demeanor being a bit strange and off. For others, you're wondering what this is based on. It's like, okay, so we're... You know, you're trying to look back to be able to move forward. I see Divine Feminine looking over her shoulder like she's leaving a soldier behind. And it doesn't have to be a she. Divine Feminine doesn't have to be a she. But I feel it's almost like the analogy I'm seeing here is like you feel quite pixelated. You feel like you're having this soul walk in. It's weird. So some of you are saying to yourself, okay, next lifetime, but I'm not feeling that that's how it is. I'm feeling that's how you're feeling. It's like, okay, next lifetime. So there's movement forward. You're going into the shadow. You're moving forward. I feel some of you can just be feeling, okay, well, I can't really do anything about that, but what can I do? So it's almost like you're turning your back and you're moving forward, and you're kind of saying to yourself, you know, if this is destined, it is going to be. I feel this is just a phase that the energy is moving us through. I don't feel it's a permanency. Okay, some of you that know of who the karmic was, or what the karmic's demeanor was, or is, you're perplexed by the situation. It doesn't make sense to you. Some of you could be looking at your shadow and you could be saying, hey, maybe I've been in a situation like this before. You know, my situation took a little bit longer to come to terms with. Maybe theirs will take a little bit longer. But some of you, it's almost like, you know, well, I had this situation happen years ago. Almost wondering if you have to fight for this individual and it's not something you really should have to do. This is something on their side of the fence that they're needing to address, but I feel there is a divine masculine that is dealing with a karmic that is a little bit toxic. I can't say a little bit toxic. This person looks toxic, okay? And so in your mind, if you feel that the person isn't attracted, they're being manipulated, and there's no chemistry between them, in your mind, you're saying, well, why are they still dealing with this toxic situation? This can be a workplace. This can be a group energy. Some of you also in your own lives are looking at a circumstance, and I feel you've made a pivotal decision. For you, yes, could it be a workplace? 100% divine feminines. It could be, okay, how can I transform this? How can I transform my career? How can I transform a situation in my life? But I do feel in your mind relating to your love life when it comes to divine masculine, it just doesn't make sense to you. You're kind of like, why are you staying in this situation if this person is so bloody toxic? You're tired of thinking about it, but it's just it's completely baffled you. It just doesn't make sense. You're like, there's you know, the person maybe has an abrupt demeanor. They're not as humble about their approach. Like, it can feel like a dictatorship. Oh God, I love it when this happens. How many do we have in the house? I love it when it happens, when a card comes up and the message I hear is quite what would the word be? Should I make a new word up? Observatory? I'm going to pull a clarifier on this just so you know I'm not egoically making this up. We've got a feminine energy in reverse, and the image my guides are giving me is the attractiveness of this person. So for some of you, you're thinking, you know, you could be thinking, hey, am I attractive enough? And look, at the moment, yes, most feminines are, the best advice I can give you is that self-love. It's taking time. It's, you know, you might need to get your hair done. It might be your nails. Self-care and nurturing, getting your diet back on track. But I'm seeing that it's like you could be looking at this and thinking, well, the bloody karmic isn't even that attractive. So if the person is being mean, if there's no chemistry between the two of you, you're staying there, you know, they're quite toxic. In your mind, you're just like, why do you keep attracting that? So I think if you guys were doing a comparison, okay, another message. Yeah, it's like I do feel some of us are looking at our wellness, our diet, our nutrition. Could it be coming up in a shadow effect? Yes, it could be. It could be you could be saying to yourself, hey, you know, do I love myself enough? Am I happy with where I'm at? Do I want to get that post C body back or whatever that is? But in the separate sector, it's almost like coming through that this karmic isn't, you know, if you're comparing yourself to that person, it's not the same. Okay, that's what I'm being shown. Let's pull a clarifier to this karmic individual that is in reverse. And what it means. Yeah, it's like, okay, it's, you know, they may not be that fit. They may not come across as friendly and nice. They come across as, because beauty is only skin deep. And you know, if this person is, could be that they're stunning, but their energy and their demeanor is quite toxic. It's just not attractive. So I kind of feel it's chalk and cheese relating to the situation. I also feel some of you aren't wanting to socialise. You're very serious at the moment. You're just trying to get things done. If you are socialising, you're also looking at what you can do to bring your vibe up. You also don't want just chemistry. Yes, you want the chemistry. At a foundation level, you feel that there was wounds. There are some things you feel at the moment you're still working on that you're trying to forgive this individual for. The separation phase had caused at a foundation level trauma and stress. Some of you, it's almost like you're trying to push a car up a hill and you're feeling quite like you don't have the energy to, and you're like, why should I have to do that? Okay. Let's see. Okay, what does Divine Feminine need to know about the connection to Divine Masculine? And we're going to go into the extension soon. I have pulled, I think I'm going to do a joint energy between the both of you in a sense of what's coming through. I am getting that here, but I'm up separately, you know, how this is playing out. Okay, some of you are looking at this too traditionally. And I don't mean in relation to the connection. I mean in relation to whatever they have going on in their life. You're looking at it through, okay, well, how do I explain it? And I think I've mentioned this to a few people, that there was a point in my journey that I had a belief relating to the karmic, and it was empathy. And we don't know we're doing this. So from a traditional point of view, you could be looking at the circumstance. You could be kind of matching notes and you know, be it's with the masculine or the karmic individual, and you're kind of matching notes and going, hey, have I lived an experience like that? Would I understand if they did that? I feel you don't want to cause any dramas. You don't want to be dragged into a situation that isn't your problem. For some of you, it's almost like you're thinking, is there a marriage here? Is there a, you know, a manipulation factor here that this person is, you know, stuck? Are they enjoying whatever this is? Okay, what is the outcome? Whoa. It's so strange. It feels so silent. It's really weird. Even in the channeling, it feels very weird. Okay, there's something quite hidden. I feel there is a circumstance that is going to require a sacrifice, and I do feel it's already playing out. If this person is in a difficult situation, I feel it's almost like they're having to go through that to address it, to push it out of their life. They have to be in the chaos to deal with that so that they can purge that cycle out. Do I feel it's quite close? Yes. For some of you, there can be a conversation, and it is relating to where this connection's going. I feel there can be something relating to their side of the family that is coming up when it comes to the context of the conversation. I don't feel they're enjoying it. I don't feel they want to do it. And it can be at a 3D level. They don't have to do it. But there can be this negotiation of how to break down the chaos, how to break through this. It could be between you and Divine Masculine where you actually have this conversation. I don't feel the blockages relating to you, Divine Feminine. I feel that, I would say this person's tired. They kind of feel psychologically stuck, but it's not that they're not finding solutions. It's that there's something that needs a tactical approach, and they'll be willing to sacrifice, and it'll happen a lot quicker if they have the right route. Let's pull a clarifier. Are you tempting them? Yes. That, you know, it's that they're tempted to lean in towards you. They're tempted to talk about things. They're a little bit embarrassed because they kind of felt that they were, you know, these are unresolved feelings that are coming up. These are belief systems that have come up. I just really get very strongly, it did come through in the karmic read. It's coming through in your read, Divine Feminine. So some of you could be experiencing drama within your own family. Drama within, you know, trying to balance your work, trying to balance life, trying to make sure that you can provide for yourself and having to make a lot of sacrifices. Some of you also feeling from the psychological point of view is, you know, in the context of your age, maybe you're wanting to do something quite large in your life. You're feeling you're running out of time, so your threshold of patience is running out of time. I feel this temptation of this person, you know, it's like you're looking at the devil in the detail. You're looking at the reality of it. There could be some gossip that comes through the grapevine. I think we need to be really wary at the moment because I do feel karmic energies really got toots on you. I get this feeling that they're actually observing you with jealousy and insecurity. I feel they're aware that this individual has A, pulled back, or B, you know, the connection is kind of dissolving. For some, I already feel they're out of it. And again, these karmic cycles can be a boss. The themes that were coming up in the karmic read, and what I'm seeing here as well, for the messages to give to you at this point, is a work-related dynamic, a dissolving of a family, locational, and employment. Those were the four energies that were really strongly coming up, and they're coming up again. I feel this person is coming to you for advice. For some of you, you're meeting on the 5D. You guys are actually assisting with this. It could be that you're kind of perplexed by it. And for some of you, you may not be gaining that access on the 5D as much because of the Virgo moon. I feel there is a proposal coming, and I feel that this could be a renegotiation of the terms. You're going to be very done on it. Like your commitment is going to be, how do I put it? My guides are showing me that you're looking at it like this. Look, I'm ready to look at the devil in the detail. Do I have chemistry with you? Yes. Am I aware of these toxic cycles? 100%. Do I get it? Have I walked a mile in your shoes in a potential way? Maybe. But you're ready for change. And the only way you feel that's going to work is if there is time, okay? You're only going to bother if you can see a potential of a good outcome. Some of you where you feel there's no outcome at the moment, for those of you in communication or who gain communication, there's going to be a negotiation. Is there chemistry between you? Yes, but not enough to manipulate you. So it's coming through. It's like, okay, look, we got Houston, we got a problem. Okay, I'm not silly. I'm not in my ego. I'm like, I don't see this is going to work. Well, I'm having the courage to speak my truth. You have to be willing to lose something to have it. Okay? I feel what you're saying is the recipe, and some of you have already said this, so this is what's playing out. This is what they're thinking on. But you're backing up and thinking about it, maybe second guessing it, but coming back to that same premise of, look, I've already given you the resume. You got the PDF, and I think that's what was coming through in the previous read last night. You got the PDF, so you know what this situation is, of how to, I don't know what I was going to say, make love, but it's like how to love me. That's my language of love. How to get to me is deal with the devil in the detail. Cut these toxic cycles out. No, it's not. Sorry. What's that song? That don't impress me much. Shania Twain. But you got the moves. You know, it's like, it's the whole package. It's a bloody whole friggin' cake. You don't want... Look, I'm down for a cake half-baked because that's gooey and that's yummy. It's chocolatey and saucy. It's got all the juice. But what best analogy could we use? Raw lamb. Raw chicken. I'm feeding you a chicken. I'm going to bring it to you. It's fresh and it's raw. It's like you're going to get sick. So you're looking at it and you go, look, it's not going to cook. It's not going to work. You bring half. I'll bring the other. You bring the chicken, I'll bring the cook. You're looking at it practically. That's, I think, sometimes in a psychological setting where we get a little bit kind of scared because you're kind of thinking, well, that I've already given them the recipe and they already know what they need to do. But at the same time, is this person able to? What I'm seeing here is this is coming back on the table to be discussed. I feel for some of you that are having communication and movement, this is you inside yourself accepting that that's what needs to happen. I also feel that the reason you've been forced to do such is because change has not been happening. This card is in reverse. You know, it's like, you know, it hasn't changed its stripes. The thing is looking the same. It's smelling the same. I do feel things have changed. The problem is where you stand in your life with the direct connection, you're feeling it hasn't changed as yet. So that's causing you to really dig your heels in. Not to be aggressive, because that's really not going to work. That's fight and flight crap. It's just not going to work. It's just very matter of fact. You know, it's think about it when you're going into a boardroom for an interview. You need to own your truth. You need to be who you are. You need to know your content. You're going in there. You're expressing what your needs are. It is a negotiation. A connection, be it we want to accept it or not, is a negotiation. And if you're a poor manager of it, on your side of the fence, you're your own boss. I think we subconsciously don't get that we have more power than we actually think. So I kind of feel Divine Feminine's moving into this tactical approach of, hey, okay, well, I'm just going to say, if you're having a relationship with me, doesn't matter. You can be mature, right? You can go, look, I'm going to educate you on what will work with me because you're coming to me. I'm giving you my resume. This is what will work with me. And then don't go into enabling, getting anxious, renegotiation, because if you know a person has a demeanor in a certain way, let them sit and digest that food. And after such, with that information they've received, we need to let go of the reins and let them address it. And if they do keep coming back, you keep repeating it. This is what I'm needing. This is what it looks like. And you've got to stay in that core center so that it can come back full circle. I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to come back in a minute and we'll be in the pre-extension and we're going to go into the masculine and feminine. I've pulled additional cards and we're going to see both sides of the fence, what's playing out relating to this joint connection. And anything else, I may pull some cards for the karmic too in the mix of it. I'll see you soon.